I kind of hate Streamlabs. I freaking I had it set up, you know, like I just I start streaming and then it launches Streamlabs. My key's already set up and I go live. But I start streaming and it says, "Would you like to log into Streamlabs?" What do you mean I want to log into Streamlabs? I go there, I do it, and I have to go in through the browser, and then it doesn't work. And so I open Streamlabs and it says, "Oh, you're signed in." Well, that doesn't make any sense. I don't They did something to this update and it messed everything up. So that's why it took me an extra, you know, 8 minutes to log on. Sorry about the wait. Thanks for your patience. What am I eating tonight? I've got some honeycomb, which I'm going to eat with this cheese. And then this is the farmer's cheese from the herd share. I've got steak, and then I have this is all nut formula. And then I have 2 eggs. So, yeah, I really need this nut formula. I gotta say, no diddy. So we're gonna eat this. Trying to hand max. Eating with the hand. Hand maxing is probably the wrong word. The wrong verbiage. So, I've been busy. It's been a while. When was the last stream? I think it was after I got back from the conference. Was that a week ago? Yeah, that was about a week ago. What's up? How's everybody doing? I'm all recovered from the conference, being busy. Finally caught up on my sleep, ran some errands, did some other things. I bought some tires for my car, which I needed. Going out to Amish tomorrow. Relax and listen from bed. Thanks, Kat. Do I have a good voice, Kat? Is it a sensual kind of voice, relaxing kind of voice? I don't know. It just makes you said you're gonna relax and listen to me. I don't find myself relaxing because it's my mind. My mind just keeps moving and I'm talking. So maybe from that standpoint. But I guess if I'm relaxing to listen to, thanks. Maybe there's hope for a fake cell like me. Oh yeah, I started TikToking again. Sup K, FK. I'm not gonna read that, Bill. Hold on. They aren't doing the soundbite. Um, I need some direction, Bill. Why there weren't Resident Raw collab stream? When? What are you talking about? I'm good at being chill and talking. Rewatch, wow. I admire your frontal lobe and attention span, Cat. Very nice. Why do I consume toxic vegetable juice and high PUFA nuts? Um, First of all, vegetable juice isn't toxic. Debunked. Also, the nuts are not that high in polyunsaturated fatty acids. Let's see here. Yeah, so meaning hickory nuts. And between the saturated and monosaturated fats, it's about 40 grams. Omega 6 is only 21 grams. So, yeah, like that's not a lot. Also, you're also doing a very mid-wit thing where you're conflating all polyunsaturated fatty acids as the same. You're acting as if I'm chugging canola oil because you don't understand nuance. It doesn't sound like your midwit brain can comprehend nuance. So, I mean, use your natural senses. Are the PUFAs in vegetable oils the same as the PUFAs in fish or nuts or eggs or chicken or pork? No, of course not. And no rational, logical person would say that or even think that. Um, you know, the danger in polyunsaturated fats is if they're processed from like gross sources like seed oils. That's really the thing. Um, I grind the nuts into a powder before I mix everything with them. They're not oily, right? I've tried this with sesame seeds. Now sesame seeds, they got pretty oily. I didn't like eating it. I tried it. It's just an experiment. So, the nut formula has its uses. Read Augenis's book. It sounds like you haven't read Augenis's book, so you should probably do that. Vegetable juice is not toxic. It's very good. It's great. Yeah, I do have to get in the spirit. You can find the clip. Wow, that's amazing. I don't know. Maybe we'll be streaming soon, sooner than you think. Who knows? Stay tuned. Veggie juice is not LARP. No, Bill, I'll do it. I have to I have to eat. I haven't eaten. I know I haven't eaten in more than it's been 6 hours since I ate, so I need to I have a headache. I need to us actors, Bill, we're very high maintenance. I've got to get into the character. I've got to take my time. I need to energize. Um yeah, veggie juice is not LARP. It works and it's pretty tasty if you make it right. So, yeah. There's a reason for it. There definitely is. I mean, in my 8 years on the diet, I consume less vegetable juice than I pretty much have ever since first started the diet, and then I needed it. But yeah, I like it. What do I think about Augenis eating garbage salmon? He didn't. Let's talk about the appeal. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I think Godus is kind of like people know who he is. So I think if you can do it right, you'll have the audience. Um, he wouldn't be the focal point, but he would need to be in it. You know, that's the mainstream approval or appeal. Maybe clavicular. You know, the look smaxers, because they're even more mainstream than Godus. That's about the only thing I could think. So, yeah. 2 likes, 9 viewers. Thank you. But yeah, I've started streaming on TikTok again. It's pretty good. Slow, but it's coming. I'm busy lately. I haven't had a lot of time to make talks. I haven't made any YouTube videos. Well, that's a lie. I do have something to say. I have a sandal review to upload. I just need to do it. Maybe tomorrow. Well, no, maybe not tomorrow. I've got a big day tomorrow. Big busy day tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. Probably won't be until next. Probably won't even be Thursday. Maybe Monday night. I can work on that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, Ray Pete, all his teeth rotted out, and he died in bed for a year. It took him a year to die in bed. So, he laid in bed for a year before he died, and his teeth rotted out. So I don't really care what Ray Pete did or didn't do. He he did a bunch of experiments on mice, on dead mice, and he promotes drugs like caffeine and sugar. Ray Pete is total cope. Ray Pete is total cope. Ray Peters are babies. Um, I really like sugar, and I want some candy. Please give me some candy. I like Way Pete. Just a little baby, and I follow a Way Pete diet, and I want something sweet. I want some sugar. Please give me candy. I love Way Pete. That's Peters in a nutshell. So there you go. Are there TikTok stream recordings? No. Nope. I got a question for you, Morph. I might have an answer. Yeah, I mean, Ray Pete lost all his teeth, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. The drugging without proof. Ray Pete promoted aspirin. Aspirin is a drug. Sugar is a drug. Caffeine is a drug. Ray Pete, those are drugs. I call those drugs. Maybe some people wouldn't call them drugs, but sugar is technically a mind altering substance. Aspirin is a drug. It's a pharmaceutical, and he promoted it. So this notion that Ray Pete didn't promote drugs is very foolish and naive. I'm not afraid of honey. How am I afraid of honey? I have a big block of honeycomb right here. You see this? You see this? You think I'm afraid of honey? Look at that. Look at all that honeycomb. I've got a jar of honey over there. I'm not afraid of honey. You're crazy. I'm not the one coping. Ray Pete is the one who's coping. He's the one coping, drinking coffee and eating sugar. Okay, whatever. I'm not. We're not talking about Augenis and his stories. You know, fruit is a solvent. It should be eaten with fat. Eat my liver and brain by mincing them and swallowing them. Half a cup of milk at most. It'd be better without milk. If I were you, I would just pate the liver and the brain together and drink it down with a little bit of honey and some eggs and a little milk and just drink it really fast. That's what I would do if I were you. Augenis did eat dumpster fish with worms. Probably. So what? What meat do I recommend with a noob? Primal noob. What I was eating, which is raw sirloin. Beef sirloin is good. Um, Pork tenderloin is good. Chicken breasts are good. Chicken breast ceviche, little lemon and olive oil, little black pepper, some parsley, cherry tomatoes. That's a nice little meal. Um, Thinly sliced sirloin is tasty. Ray Davies is the only Ray people should talk about. Why did face IQ health improve after eating lots of sugar then? Because he was eating a crappy diet. That's why. Face IQ, his diet was not sustainable. He would binge on crap. That's what was happening. He would eat this really restrictive diet this terrible diet that's not appetizing of liver and organs and some meat, and then he would eat junk food is what I heard, and like relapse on junk food, and then he would go back to eating strict, um, and then he would just eat a bunch of fruit. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to feel good on fruit because if the body is too acidic, the fruit helps alkalize. Plus, sugar makes you feel good, but lots of sugar, lots of fruit isn't good for you. Look at fruitarians; they eat a lot of fruit and they look like garbage. So, yeah, Face IQ did not eat lots of raw fats and meat. That is a lie. He did not. Is Phoenix really claiming to be Augenis's successor? I don't know. I don't really think he's claiming to be like the next Augenis. I think more so in terms of just like, building like an actual community, because there is no community. A bunch of people online scattered around the internet is not a real community, guys. It's not going to help you get jobs. It's not going to help you find relationships. It's not going to help you find real friends. It's not going to help you find, like, I don't know, food sourcing, kind of, maybe a little bit, but, like networks in person, that's where you really form like community. You know, if you want to eat raw meat behind a screen and hang out online all day, okay, but like most normal people don't want to do that. You understand? So, um, again, I'm not really too big on community. I've always kind of done my own thing. Always kind of been sort of a lone wolf, Sigma male. Not to brag or anything. No, but seriously, I've always kind of done my own thing, and like I don't really care. For some people, it's really important because they just can't handle the stress of, being perceived, like just being perceived at all. Not let alone being perceived differently because you reject so much of the mainstream because you eat this way. Your friends, your family might even like disown you or outcast you or judge you, make fun of you like all the time. That adds up for people. I'm sympathetic to that. That doesn't bother me though. So, you know, I think it's more in the spirit of doing, community things like bringing people together because he has a family, right? He has a family. He's raising a kid on the diet, and he wants his child to have other friends who are on the diet and hang out with other families who are on the diet. I don't think I think probably everyone in this chat would think that's, a good thing. Um, I think you'd have to be severely mentally ill to think that's a bad thing or not admirable. So, no, I mean, people, if he said that, I don't know, I haven't seen that. But if he said that, that's probably how he meant it. Because he doesn't do everything like Augenis. He doesn't do the iridology. Um, he's taken courses on body work and things, and like he talks about it sometimes. I haven't really talked to him at length, but he talks about archetypes of people, like your body shape. That's what he kind of hinges on is people's body shape. Like, oh, your body shape is like this, so that means that your psychology kind of works like this, and you're maybe more wired for these things, in life. Something like this, you're a high energy person, a low energy person. Certainly shades and elements of what Augenis would see in people because like it's a holistic look, but he doesn't do the iridology, but um, it just things like that. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's probably the best I could do. So, you know, his famous his famous thing is telling pretty much everyone to drink a quart of loop formula a day. I think that's pretty funny. He's like, "Oh yeah, you need to drink a quart of loop formula a day," and it's like it's true. I mean, a lot of people do need that. We do need a lot of fat. So, Um, his old diet videos. You shouldn't be eating organ meat as often. Yeah. Why are his old diet videos even irrelevant if he changed everything up? Yeah, not chewing your organs is fine. Um, you're not losing anything. Better if you. I would pate everything though if you're really trying to maximize everything. Beef tallow is cooked. Yeah, just ask the butcher. Just ask the people who make the beef tallow to give you raw beef fat. There you go. A raw meat empire before GTA 6. I don't think so. I don't think so. He doesn't really want to do well. No, he. I shouldn't say that. The goal is to spread the movement, the diet, the eating with everything. He's doing a lot of outreach. This is the most outreach I think anybody's ever done on the diet IRL. So that's where it counts. That's what's going to win the hearts and minds is getting out there in front of people saying, "Hey, we're just normal people who eat this way. Are you curious about it?" And there's a lot of people who are curious too. We had over 5 people show up from just one event they did. One IRL event they did, one conference they went to. If over 5 people showed up just from one event, they had over 150 people at their talk. So people are interested in the raw meat, and it's just a matter of getting out there in person and meeting people, shaking hands, talking to people, and saying, "Hey, come see what we're about." You know, raw carnivore up until a few months ago. Yeah, I know, because he started eating too much fruit. Yeah. Let's do fragrance. Let's not. Man, I hate fragrance. It's the people, they come in wherever you are, like you're at the store, you're at the butcher's, you're at the library, and these people just reek. The worst is people who have the super like ultra heavy duty fragrances from detergents. They make this now where you can, I think it's called Unstoppables. And the fragrance it's literally what the name is, Unstoppable. It stays on your clothes for days. And it smells like you sprayed yourself with laundry detergent. It's disgusting. I don't know how people can do it. People walk around like this and they're like, "Well, why do I have the big C? Why do I have all these problems?" It's like, "Well, geez Louise, bud, you're just breathing all this garbage, brother. Like, come on." I like the stream. Did you chat? Thanks, Jim. How you doing, Jim? Mineral sunscreen. I don't need it. I'm on the primal diet. Made clips from these streams and didn't realize the clips get locked a bit after the fact. I don't know what that means. They get locked. Are they locked because they're inappropriate or because you locked them? I don't know. If Phoenix is so powerful and rich, why isn't he reviving Audra style lab research and the stuff Audra said he could find out if he lived some lifetimes? I don't know what you're talking about. Powerful and rich. You sound schizophrenic. Lab research, yeah, it costs. I mean, if Audra was spending so much, like, what do you think it's going to cost today, 12 years later with inflation? You know, we don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to do lab studies, long, like, lab studies for years, bud. So that's not really what he's focused on. I think if you're passionate about that, that's great. Maybe you should do something about it. But, he's been living the diet for 25 years. So, I mean, he is kind of the lab research in a way. Diet won't save you against UV damage, sadly. UV damage, you sound soft. UV damage. I don't care about UV damage. What does that mean, UV damage? Were you scared about getting wrinkles? Who cares? I'm a man. I don't care about. I'm a man. I don't have a skincare routine, okay? You might be in the wrong. You might be in the wrong chat. I just lose access to viewing the clips. They aren't inappropriate, just about oysters and honey and such. Interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with my live streams because I have all these streams, right? And I made them all private because there were quality issues with the camera, with the microphone, um, and I thought maybe another monetization path is having members only like rewatches for the live streams. So like if you're subscribed as a member, you could rewatch the streams. Like that's kind of what I was thinking. Also, I guess people rewatch my streams, so there was like too many. So I wanted to funnel it down to just a few. So probably once like 10 live streams stack up, I'll probably make them all private. Just, keep people on their toes, incentivize people to watch them. So aging, lol. We're all fighting father time. Everybody ages. If you think you can't age, you're mentally ill. Sorry. It just happens. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't care. I'm not putting sunscreen and lotion on my body. That's disgusting. That's gross. I mean, if you want to do that, okay, but that's gross. I'm not putting lotion on my skin. I'm not putting sunscreen on my skin. I'm a grown man. That's disgusting. No, thank you. The fragrance rant was good, but do the Diane bit. I know. I was just trying to get into it. I was just trying to get into it. Hold on, let me. I've got to go back to my lines. Remember, I'm just a dumb actor. I'm a himbo actor. I don't know what I'm doing. Bill, be patient. All right, I got to visualize this, guys. 4 likes, 13 viewers. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the views, guys. All right. I have to do some lines for my movie. Hold on. You guys are witnessing greatness here. I'm like a Robert De Niro right now. Okay. What what uh what the frick? Diane? Is that you, Diane? Yeah, the fragrance. What the heck is that? You read the sign. No fragrances. You've got to leave. You can't come in here. Nope, not on my watch. You need to respect the rules of the Primal Asylum, Diane. This is non negotiable. If you want to do this story, you got to play by my rules. That's it. Oh, wait, go. Go. Come back when you don't smell like cancer. Thank you. Okay. Gen Z is obsessed with aging. Yeah. Do you think people are in the future are going to go back to your streams like their Genesis Q&As? Probably not. Um, I mean, there's a lot of mentally ill people out there, so some people probably will. So, yeah, waste of time though. Um, entirely up to you. It's lowering your DHT. What's lowering my DHT? The sun? If Phoenix is buying up all the organic farms, that's news to me. Um, that's news to me. Buying up all the organic farms. That's crazy, bro. You sound schizophrenic. You sound like you spend too much time on the internet. Phoenix does not want to be a farmer. He wants to run a health retreat. He wants to do healing work and body work, and he wants to counseling. That's his thing. That's his real passion. I don't think he wants to be a farmer. Too high energy. See, I don't know. That's how I would react to any fragrance, though. That's how I would react to any fragrance, though. 4 likes, 11 viewers. Thanks for liking the stream. At least 4 of you care. At least 4 of you care. It doesn't cost anything to like the stream, All right. Well, let me try it again. Ogenus was a farmer. Wow. Ogenus was not a farmer. That's crazy, bro. He worked on his retreat center for 2 years, 3 years, and then he died. He wasn't a farmer. Yeah, Ogenus was not a farmer. Ogenus was a Hollywood actor. Just so you know. Maybe you forgot. Ogenus was a Hollywood actor. He was a card-carrying member of the Screen Actors Guild. So, yeah, he was not a farmer. All right, here we go. More lines. We're timestamped this at 37 minutes, 30 seconds. Listen, Diane, these fragrances are too overpowering. I don't know what you're doing at 60 minutes, what you do there in the office there, but here at the Primal Asylum, we don't do any fragrances. You gotta switch this up. You gotta get clean and come back. I'm not doing this. No exceptions. Your camera people, they don't smell that bad, but you have too much perfume on. It's unbearable, Diane. I'm not going to be able to conduct an interview professionally with you. Please come back when you smell normal. His movies, Ogenus was in General Hospital. Happy Hunting. General Hospital was on for 30 years. He was probably starring in the late 80s and early 90s, if I had to guess. I need to wash my feet better at night. I've been wearing these sandals. I just wash my feet off in the shower. I have a black ring around just the top of the bottom of my feet, almost on the sides. I need to get that clean. It's a good practice to wash your feet before you go to bed. You don't want all that dirty, yucky stuff in your sheets when you're in bed. So I just was Hollywood. Aren't Hollywood CIA agents and deceivers? Do you just not read his book, dude? Are you serious? Ogenus was Hollywood. Yes, he lived in Hollywood. He was an actor. Did you not read his book? Go ahead, Bill. 5 likes. Wow, somebody else cares. Go ahead, Bill. Request away. Let the creative juices flow. Yeah, so I think we're ready for the cheems and honeycomb. Someone said I'm scared of honey earlier. That's silly. Literally about to eat honeycomb here. I ate. No, it's just one egg. I need to eat the other egg. Another one. I'm not really sure where to go with that. Um, not really sure where to go with that. I don't know, KFK. I'm not in Hollywood. I don't know. I mean, you should eat the whole egg. Our ancestors ate the whole egg. I don't know why you're scared of egg whites. You're either weak or you believe in scientism and man made studies. So, whatever. I mean, if you want to base your worldview on man made studies and scientism, go ahead. But I'm going to eat like my ancestors and eat the whole egg because that's what's natural. Mm. Yeah, my intuition is that the whole egg is better. And that if you're going to believe in man made studies in a lab, you're not going to make it. Wood without resin coating better for stainless steel for fermenting milk for your health. Um, I would say glass would be best. Glass would be best. I mean, imagine like taking man-made studies seriously. That's crazy, bro. Imagine being like, well, um, in the laboratory, the egg whites, the dried egg white powder, when it interacted with the proteins, the avidin actually it was binding to them and it wasn't absorbed. So you shouldn't eat your egg whites because that's not healthy. That's what the studies say. That's you right now, bro. That's you. um, Paul Saladino actually did a video on this, and he said that the avidin in the egg whites is actually hindering the protein absorption in the whole egg. So you shouldn't eat it. You should just eat the yolk and throw all the egg whites away. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. No thanks. I'm gonna eat the whole egg like a man. 5 likes, 11 viewers. That's amazing. Thank you so much. This is a lot of sustained viewership. Like my sustained viewership has doubled pretty much. It's pretty late too. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Oh, I have to upload my monologue. I have to upload my monologue from the conference. I'll probably do that this weekend. So stay tuned for that. I tell a lot of jokes. Oh, bro's cooking his food. Imagine cooking your food in the Big 26. Wow. Yeah, I like to cook my food because I like to make more work for myself. I like to take 30 minutes to cook and clean instead of just eating my food in 3 minutes. That's silly, man. I eat my eggs in the morning in like 3 minutes, and I don't have to clean anything up. I just throw the shells away. I can throw them on the ground if I want to if I'm on the go, and I'm done. You're cooking your egg whites. You have to heat the pan up. Then you have to heat up the butter. You're cooking your butter, and then you have to like cook the whites, and it takes like 5 minutes. And then, you got to put them on a plate. And then you got to eat them. And then you got to clean your pan. And then you got to clean your plate. How much time is that zapping from your life every day? Ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. If you eat raw food and you cook your whites, it's over for you. It's over. Bro is talking about evolution now. That's crazy. That's crazy. You evolved. You evolved from a monkey. You were a monkey. Okay. Good for you, bud. Make it about the cameraman, and that'll be it. Okay. Timestamp 47 minutes. Timestamp 47 minutes. You need to get a handle on your cameraman too, Diane. It's, I can't even see him half the time when they're around here, but I can smell them. I could smell them before I can see them. That's how bad it is. You understand? They need to freshen up too. And by freshen up, I mean not smell like cancer. Thanks, Diane. How's that? I don't think it's going to get any better. 6 likes, 14 viewers. Amazing. One time I went to a steakhouse and ordered steak tartare, and it came out with a mini sunny side egg on top. Oof. I would have sent it all back. I would have been like, this cooked touched my raw food. It needs to go back. Funny story, I was at a restaurant for Father's Day, and I got a raw steak. The waitress, the waitron was malfunctioning because she was like, what? Raw? I don't know if we can do that. I'm like, oh no, you can do it. Just like carpaccio. Like, you're doing this. Like, I do it all the time. Just don't cook the meat and put it on the salad. And she's like, I have to go ask the kitchen. And so she asked the kitchen, she's like, okay, yeah, we can do that. I said, great. And then the restaurant manager came out and he was like, hey, just wanted to come by. I just wanted to check in. Everything's okay. I just want to make sure you wanted a raw steak. You wanted a raw steak with nothing on it. And I was like, yep, just a plain raw steak, please. And he said, wow, in 25 years of doing this is a first. So, it's a little odd. I just wanted to come and make sure that we were on the same page. And then he comes back like 2 minutes later. He said, okay, hey, sorry to bother you again, but they're just like freaking out in the kitchen. Like, you don't want anything on it, like no salt, no pepper. I was like, oh, you could do some pepper, but no salt, please. He was like, okay, just checking in. So they brought it out. Nice 12-ounce steak with the pepper. Chimichurri sauce on the side. It was on a bed of greens with a nice, olive oil vinaigrette dressing. I ate the steak with the chimichurri sauce. It was really good, actually. I should make some, honestly. I need to learn to make some. And then I saved the greens for dessert. I ate the greens like 2 hours later. The salad it had a lot of bitter greens in it, which I wasn't really a fan of. But I put some honey on it, and it was all right. I had some big bowel movements the next days, though. But, I ate the salad. It was my first salad in years. It was all right. It wasn't my favorite thing to eat. I kind of powered through it mostly. I ate like 70% of it. For dessert, I did break down, and I ordered a cannoli. I had to do it. I had to order the cannoli. Take the cannoli. It was a wonderful house-made ricotta cheese with the chocolate chips in it. Chocolate chips on one side, pistachios on the other side, orange zest and a cherry. And it was a pretty big cannoli. It was a pretty big portion. This is the first time. So I had a little mini cannoli for an after thing at this fancy restaurant. Same owner, same type of cannoli, just like micro size. And I had one of those. It was all right. It was like literally one bite. But this was like 7 bites. It was huge. It was really good though. Haven't had anything like that in years. And it was nice. Yes, last night I found some sushi that was on sale. It was a little sushi bowl. It came with tamago and rice and tuna. And I ate it. Ginger, I ate it. That's like my little treat. So, yeah. Why eat anything else raw besides milk, butter, oysters, and liver? Wow. You should actually try reading Audrey's books. That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. Imagine cooking your food in the Big 26. I'm just going to give you a line, please. Yeah, Ray Pete is not the goat. All his teeth fell out and he rotted in bed for a year and then he died. What if the pepper and greens had pesticides and the olive oil is bleached with seed oil? This was like a really good restaurant where, you know, the main entree dish was like $65. So, yeah, it's not that kind of restaurant. This is a very high end, high class dining establishment. Um, so they did not. Um, I mean, this is the kind of place that imports their flour from Italy to make their pasta and bread and cannolis, even. So, yeah, that is not happening. It's true, most olive oil is fake, but when you're going to fine dining establishments, it isn't fake. So, I mean, I know the owner, so he knows his stuff. He knows food. Yeah. So, have you ever worn a cotton cloth mask on a plane to stop jet lag? Not to stop jet lag, but because it was during the thing that happened 6 years ago. Augustus doesn't approve any restaurant. That's not true. Augustus went to restaurants. He talked about it. I listened to Augustus when Weston A. Price had the perfect nutritional layout. Um, well, that's funny you said that because Weston A. Price deduced in his research that 50% of the meat you eat should be raw. So maybe take a note from the perfect nutritional layout and eat 50% of your meat raw. Just saying. You're glazing Weston A. Price. Maybe you should listen to what he said. Oh, gotta plug this bit in. Okay, plug that in. Mute that. Okay. Okay. Well, he said at least 50%. So that's a minimum recommendation. It'd be better if you did none of it cooked. That's what he said. If you did all your meat raw, that would be the best. That's literally what he said. So, you know, I mean, if you don't want to do the best you can in life, go ahead. That's fine. Not everybody is destined for greatness. Yeah, I mean, Weston A. Price did good work. Sally Fallon is not really associated with Weston A. Price, though. She kind of piggybacks on it. So she piggybacks on it, but she makes a lot of her own stuff in there. So yeah, it is what it is. It happens. 11:40, huh? Gee whiz, it's late. I don't know if I want to watch Free Run. Mm. Cook state is not that good. Yeah. Maybe you're right, Raw's right. Like I said, guys, I don't even care about the nutrition stuff anymore. I'm lazy. I eat this way to have more energy and time. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. The biggest selling points for this diet for me at this point are I don't have to clean up after cooking and it gives me energy. So, ranch, that's disgusting. I mean, you can make a raw ranch recipe that's pretty good, but yeah, that's gross. Salt, ugh. Salt just gives me a headache. Check messages? Okay. I was expecting you to just type them in the chat. Okay, here we go. Timestamp 58 minutes. 58 minutes. Oh, wait. Okay, no. We can't do this. You reek of fragrance, Diane. You're going to have to leave. He needs to film. He can film from the outside. Or he can go back to his country and film from there. No, I messed that up. No, I don't like that. I think the smell him before I can smell him before I can see him is a little better. I think that's a little better. Face IQ going high carb. Not surprised. It's what happens to most carnivores because they crave alkalinity and then they cope with fruit. We need salt to function at our highest potential. So am I supposed to have a headache all the time? Is that my highest potential is to have a headache all the time and constipation? Because that's what happens when I eat salt. So I don't know. That doesn't sound like my highest potential. There's no joy without salt. Jesus, where do you people come from? It's like you don't even know. It's like you don't even know where you are. No, I would never go to something like that. I don't want to be around a bunch of people who use drugs. Sounds like torture. I mean, that's how he advertises it. That's how he advertises it, that they'll be doing those sorts of things there. That's kind of like his thing. It's like his passion, it seems like. He's very pro drug, it seems like. So I don't want to be. I'm not judging that decision, but I'm just saying I don't want to be around those people. I eat oysters though. Yeah, the oysters don't give me headaches. The water is filtered. The salt is in a different form. It's like salt, but it's not. It's not like the dried stuff. So it's not exactly the same, I think. I mean, I'll eat like 40 oysters too. Well, okay, so I'm eating like 25 oysters at a time nowadays, but I don't get any headaches from that. But if I eat something that was salted, I get a headache from it. I ate some salted melon a couple weeks ago, and I got a headache. I had a headache and a sore throat. Should probably retry. Retry what? The cameraman stuff? Okay. I don't know that it really matters because the thing is it's about the fragrance. I don't know that we need to do the cameraman too. Chat is popping tonight. Rank Hayao Miyazaki animes. Sea salt works wonders. Ugh. Could salt have taken down the Twin Towers? Maybe if Urban Moving Systems was working on it. How much zinc is that? I don't know. Ask ChatGPT. I ate some moldy berries and I got hella acne on my face. Is it what's supposed to happen? It sounds okay. Yeah, it'll go away. Headaches from raw cream? That's not too uncommon. What's up, bro? Okay, so I don't know. I'm not like big fans of Miyazaki's work at Studio Ghibli. I think they're fine, but I don't know. I've only seen Spirited Away, Castle of Cagliostro. Um, I may have seen one or two more, but I don't remember them. So I would rank Spirited Away above Castle of Cagliostro. It's a loop in the third film. When I give you lines that are reference points, the important thing you make it your own from the most natural feel. Yeah, I get it, but I'm just trying to. I did make it my own, but then you said that was too much. So okay, so I'm trying. Thanks. I'm glad you're happy with those takes, boss. I mean, yeah, if the cream is making you nauseous, it's probably just too much. You're probably just getting too much. You just sip a little bit, honestly, because it's very rich. It's very rich stuff. You don't need a lot. Oh, did I want to make ice cream tonight? No, I think I'm okay. I need to drink all this milk. You perform the music with an orchestra? Wow. Low key flex. That's goaded. What do you play, bro? I need to know. Strings? You play strings? I bet you play strings. Let me look at this profile. The profile. Nice. Colostrum is overrated. I mean, it's good, but you're never going to find a fresh source continuously. And if it's frozen, you're just wasting your money. You wouldn't wait for raw cream to float to the top in nature. You just drink the milk immediately. Not necessarily. Thoughts on NGE? Yeah, I love it. I love NGE. I have not. I have not watched the what are they called? The reworks. The redos or whatever they're called. I need to watch those. The bass trombone, nice. Trombone's very underrated. No, not even for growing people. If your colostrum is frozen, it's all cope. And you're wasting your money. You're better off just buying fresh milk. You pay $40 for a quart of frozen colostrum. That's crazy. The remakes, yeah. Remakes are good. Well, no, I don't know. The remakes I haven't seen. I hear they're good. Wow. Rip. That's sad. Just goes to show. Life is a gift that can be taken away at any moment. You know? Stuff happens. It's not because of one guy. I mean, have you tasted frozen dairy? It sucks. It's terrible. The comparisons between a fresh raw milk and frozen, like raw milk and frozen dairy, is night and day. You could do a blind taste test and you'd be able to tell which one is different because the frozen dairy is going to taste terrible. It's just a fact. Um, yeah, I mean, not to mention that most of those, like nutrients and stuff, they're going to be very sensitive to temperatures. So, yeah, I think it's a waste of money. I mean, I'm not brainwashed. I've tasted the frozen dairy. There's a big difference. It tastes terrible. Colostrum already doesn't taste good. Neon Genesis is the deepest anime. I don't know about the deepest, but it is good. Yeah. I mean, freezing like now I don't think freezing makes things toxic, but it doesn't make them better. Ice cream is a little different because you're it's freezing with movement. And after so many hours, it doesn't taste good. So I love ice cream. Here's the thing, I love ice cream. I'm talking about when you freeze something and then you thaw something. Like if you froze a gallon of raw milk, right, for a week, and then you thawed it and you tried to drink it, that would taste nasty. Don't tell me that's not going to taste nasty. That's going to taste nasty. But if you make ice cream and you eat it and within 24 hours, it's fine. It's not going to taste bad. If you tried to thaw it and drink it, it's going to taste a little funky, but if it's frozen with the right flavors, it tastes fine. The the amount of freezing really dictates the damage here. Yeah. Ice cream without flavors is good too. Freezing makes liver bearable. You need to get better liver, bud. Freezing your liver, yikes. Imagine freezing your liver. Just blend it up and drink it like I did. Blend it up and drink it like I did. That's what you should do. 6 likes, 13 viewers. Thanks for liking the stream. Doesn't cost anything to like the stream, by the way. Just saying. Liver ice cream? That's nasty. No thanks. Is frozen raw milk still raw milk and cooked milk is still raw milk? No. Frozen raw milk will still be raw milk, but cooked milk is not raw milk. Natural multivitamin? Okay, whatever. Okay, Paul Saladino. Go off, Paul Saladino. Go ahead and steal from me just like you steal from Frank Tufano. Cooked raw milk is pasteurized. Raw's right again. Raw's right again. Everything is raw in its core? No. What else should we do? I don't know. Let's I have an idea. Let's all like the stream. Let's all go to the like button and press like. That's what we should do. Okay? Ready? On three. 1, 2, 3. Like the stream. It's kind of crazy that I'm like the person who's been doing this diet the longest, and I have the internet presence. Like, I'm the only one doing this who's been doing the diet this long. Paul helped more people than Augenus, so not really. If I heat up raw milk, it messes up my stomach. Even worse than store pasteurized milk. Amazing. I was already the second light. I'm not talking to you, Kat. You're doing great. You're great. You're fantastic. I know you. I know you're liking the streams. You show up. You appreciate what we do here. And I appreciate you. You know, it's funny because you bring up Leo. I was thinking about doing an interview with him because I want to ask him more about this Chinese massage stuff. So I think that would be a good topic. I'm gonna do that. Oh, nice. Another like one person. One person wanted to play. Paul is definitely like a trust fund. A lot of these influencers, Kip shouts out Prod Kip CEO. Kip did a video on this, like Jacob Foods and some other guy. They just come out of nowhere and they have like 100,000 followers all of a sudden, and that's like all they're doing. There's definitely money behind nutrition. There's definitely money behind media personalities. Um, for sure, for sure. I heard from someone. They went to Paul Saladino's first carnivore retreat in Costa Rica, and he asked him what he thought about Augenus or if he knew about Augenus, and Paul Saladino basically froze up and was like he didn't know how to respond. So that's kind of fishy. Paul definitely eats more raw meat than he lets on. Yeah, you weren't supposed to see this. 1:15, 30 seconds. Yeah, you weren't supposed to see this. Let me, Eggman. Yo, Liam. Bark talk about Paul's premature aging. No, but I can see Paul's premature aging. I just be like, don't eat cooked foods, but boil yourself in water. Yeah, it's different when you're alive because your cells will work to maintain temperature. So you're not actually cooking yourself. Cooking happens at higher temperatures when the body is like not alive, basically. So like if you're to, like boil somebody, it's gonna be hot enough. Yeah, it's gonna kill you, but it's not gonna kill you like instantly. It's gonna like slowly kill you. But hot springs are fine. I mean, like people have been using hot springs since people were around on the earth, you know? Yes, those are demons. Oh, cat. I need more of these. This is nice. I don't get this a lot. I don't have this supportive, positive, feminine energy in my life. And even just you sending the words on the screen, it kind of it's making me swoon. You're making this old man swoon. You're making Unc blush. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've said before, like one day, um, I'll probably just disappear, and there may not even be any digital vestiges of me on the internet. I want to sell out to the military industrial complex and live off of interest and do nothing for at least a couple years. Just sit on a beach and read books and sit up in some mountains and read books and drink raw milk and eat good food and just chill in the sun and just read and walk around and hike. Just lay on the beach, maybe go swimming a little bit, but not too much. Definitely have a life jacket. The ocean scares me. Um, yeah, that's kind of like my goal in life. So, vibe code of business. Yeah, that's what I'm basically doing right now. Earth's only existed for 5,000 years. That's what some people say. Sell out to Green Star. Yeah, just like Augenus. I'll sell out to Green Star because the Green Star conspiracy is that plastic gets in your juice. Plastic actually does get in your juice if you use the Green Star, though. The steel gears touch the plastic parts and rub off on it, so there's plastic that gets into your juice. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought he did that a while ago. I hope he's okay. He seems to be having some. He quit my job. I see that. I wonder if he's going to go to Healthfully Farm. I should tell him. Good for him. I'm not at the point where I'm ready to give up and sell everything and move to Japan, but that's always an option. Coconut cream with a Ninja cold press juicer, no shot. A goat farm? Nice. Yeah. I always like to plug Healthfully Farm. I mean, because primalism, he likes the raw foods, and Healthfully Farm does it the best, like nobody else. And it's in a beautiful farm, and there's a good group of people there, so it definitely would be good for him to go there. I think he would really enjoy it. So yeah, we're pretty sure one of them is Tucker Carlson's demon. At least it said it was. I don't know. You can't always trust these demons, Diane. You got to stay on your toes. That's why I keep the holy water with me. I'm eating the nut formula now. It's very good. Last movie I watched that I enjoyed, probably The Thing. That was awesome. Um, yeah. Or no, The Backrooms. I went and saw The Backrooms in theaters, and that was actually really good. I liked that. I liked The Backrooms. It was a good movie. It was different. It was like fresh. It wasn't like it wasn't like a lot of these newer movies where there's like, oh, like there's like little music videos in them, and it's like modern music. It's like, no, the music was original, the idea was original, the actors were just actors, they weren't movie stars. Um, it was just a good vibe. I liked it. Yeah, I really recommend going to see The Backrooms. I went and saw it the day it came out in the Ultra screen, and that was pretty awesome. Um, but yeah, it's a good movie to see on the screen because of the cinematography, the setting, the backrooms themselves. It's good to see on the screen. It's a little immersive. It's good. The MIC is the reason why we got sick. Yeah. And I don't want to be a member of the permanent underclass. So I'm trying to I'm going to make bank any way I can, pretty much. So I'm not stuck with the plebs. Because you understand that's where we're going. You have about 6 years. You have about 6 years before, like, you're just stuck in neo feudalistic technocratic hell. That's where we are. So I'm a little bit more concerned about transcending that and not being stuck with the plebs and having some financial security. So, you know, for better or worse, that's kind of where my head's at. That's kind of where your head should be at too, but maybe it isn't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to get out of it. Exactly. Liam gets it. Liam gets it. Yeah, because it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, really? You know, there's more farms closing every year than opening. What are you gonna do? Most most of the GDP economic growth in this country, 75% of it is because of AI. What are you gonna do? They're building, data centers, track and trace cameras everywhere, swarms of drones to police and enforce the law. What are you going to do? They're putting kill switches in the cars. What are you going to do? Me, I'm going to get really rich, so none of that stuff really affects me. Or at least I'll be comfortable. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, Liam is a G. They're trying to push AI data centers everywhere to meet some sort of deadline. They're not AI data centers either. They're fusion centers. The Thing is in my top tier faves. I have the dog, The Thing, Funko Pop on my shelf. Wow. Alien, yeah, that's a classic. Nice cat. I'm not the nicest people either, KFK. They had a screening of The Thing here recently, and Kurt Russell was there to do a Q&A afterwards. It was sold out when I tried to get tickets. Damn, that would have been awesome. Yeah, Liam, he probably is a bit of a crypto nerd. He sent me like $100 from Bitcoin to buy this mic. No, not crypto? Interesting. Liam is the reason I have this mic, though. Everybody say thank you to Liam. Stonks. YouTube and stonks. Very nice. Ukraine-Russia war might be a multinational experiment to see how drones could be used against everyone. Yeah, I mean, that's the Ukraine is the battleground it's the testing ground for drone warfare. Exactly what it is. Very good. I've talked to people who work in that sector, and that's exactly what it is. Liam is just a viewer. He's just a chill guy. W. Liam, yes. Yeah, Bill. I don't know. You probably weren't here at some of my other streams, but like, I met this guy who was at the conference, and he's like some. He's not an executive, but he's like pretty high up at a tech company. I was pretty surprised to meet a person like that at the conference. But also, like, he watched my stream. He watches my streams. He might even be watching right now. He just, because I was talking to him, he said, yeah, I saw this, you were advertising this on your stream. I'm like, I was eating with him, dinner with him. I was like, you watch I didn't say that, but I just kind of was like, oh, this guy watches my streams. Like, I was like, I don't know, dude, if I was you, I would probably be doing better things with my time, but that's just because I know this stuff, If you don't know this stuff, you come and ask questions or listen to people ask questions. I get it. But personally, for me, I don't know. Who else? There was someone else that watches my streams. I was surprised. I forget. But anyway, you never know who's watching. So that's cool. How can we resist the coming technocrat dystopia? Buy land in the countryside and have lots of kids? No. Nope. Because look, they're going to have drones. What they did in the Russian Revolution to the Christians, what the Bolsheviks did to the Christians, it's going to happen everywhere else. They used the railroad system to attack all the isolated villages and towns of Christians. They were basically defenseless. They didn't know they were coming. They just went out into these places from the cities and just took over or just massacred the villages. And that's at a certain point, that's what can happen here. We have a lot of guns in America, though, so it's not going to be as easy. But, when you can just send in a swarm of drones strapped with explosives, you do the math. So, yeah, I mean, that's really not going to help you. The MSC are those who want you to not be free, either become rich, part of the corrupt, or you're going to hide, which won't work if you're a high-level rich person. Well, I mean, I think there's going to be some sort of event. That's why they're all building bunkers. We just have to accept that this world always has an expiration date and there is more. Yep, Liam's right. That's why they're building the bunkers, like I said. They know something is going to happen, like cataclysmic, catastrophic, and there's going to be massive population reduction because of some sort of scarcity, some sort of civil unrest that follows from this cataclysm and the scarcity. And people are just going to be, it's just going to be dog eat dog. And then the elites will come forth from their bunkers after a while and be the heroes in some way. At least that's what I think is going to happen. So, yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be corrupt, but if you have something that's of value, you can make money from it, you know? Money is money. You can get a pretty decent chunk of change without having to become a billionaire and really enter that club. I don't know if really anybody can just become a billionaire. I mean, I think there's some people who aren't part of the club, but in general, it's part of a club thing. Vault-Tech, yeah. Should we get a bunker going? Yeah, Liam, that'd be a good idea. I already know where I want to go. Exactly where I want to go. It'll be hard to get property there, but I think I could swing it. I think I could work something out. I think I could get in there and do it. But yeah. Definitely want the primals in a bunker. The sane primals, not the mentally ill primals. Big difference there. They're admitting the population collapse is imminent with birth rates below replacement everywhere. Yeah, but that's going to take population collapse is going to take another 30, 35, 40 years. It's going to take another 30, 35 years at least to really see those effects, at least in America. Places like Japan, a little bit of a different story. But population collapse isn't really the end. The upper class is worried about population collapse because it's less debt slaves, it's less workers. That means asset prices are going to go down, wages are going to go up, or wages will stabilize and asset prices will crash. Because think about it, if all your money's in real estate and consumerism and less people are buying things, then you're going to have a lot less money. And that's going to cause ripple effects in the economy. You're also going to have less of a tax base to support entitlements for people. That's also going to cause problems. So you're really dealing with that's really the issue. Not like, oh, there's less people. What does that mean? Like, that's bad. Like, okay, it's not necessarily bad for me because I'll be able to buy a house. My wages will probably go up, but it'd be bad for the ruling class, so to speak, the bourgeois class, if I can use such a term. That's really the issue there. If we were not injected, most of us could survive starvation and poisons way easier. Liam, you have your own specific island when that day comes. I really wouldn't want an island. I know where I'm going to go, but I'm not going to say it. I don't want to give it away. If Liam wants to talk to me and he wants to include me in his bunker team, I would tell Liam, but not anybody else. Sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. I'm a pretty good shot, Liam. I'm a pretty good shot. I gotta say, I'm a good one to have on the team. I don't want to brag, but I am a good shot. Plenty of jerky and man-made trinkets. Yeah. I'm so down to get a bunker if it looks like it's getting worse. Well, a bunker's a hedge. If it looks to be getting worse, it's probably too late. Honestly, if you look around and you say, boy, are things getting worse, it's probably too late because you have to think things have been getting worse for like 25 years and we're just getting used to it. So the level of shit has just become the norm, and that's like the average. So if you think about it, if this was going on 50 years ago, there'd be riots in the street. There were riots in the street 50 years ago because of stuff like this. But now there really isn't, or there was riots for other things. So and that's just my opinion. If it looks like things are getting worse, it's probably too late. I mean, everybody is the rich, they're already booming for bunkers. Um, there's the 2030 Agenda 2030 timeline, you know. There's the conflict in Iran. It's not getting better. In fact, I think I just saw today that we bombed Iran again. That I think what there was a memorandum. I mean, all this stuff is kind of theater, but there was a memorandum, and then Israel bombed Lebanon, and then Iran did something, and then we retaliated against Iran. Just all these tit for tat exchanges. We're just like on the brink from full mobilization and war. And of course, we're already in this quagmire in Ukraine, which is not going to be resolved easily. It's confusing what the ruling class want. They want depopulation, but at the same time, they're fear mongering with a population collapse. Well, you have to understand it's there's the ruling class, but there's multiple factions in the ruling class, right? They just look at everything like a game, you know? It's just pawns on a board. So there's at least 3 different teams, probably 5. And they're all, you know, pitted against each other and plotting against each other and using, you know, just the normal everyday life stuff that we consider as authentic and organic against us, or using that to control us in some way. That's true, but I think I can usually see ahead of the most. Yeah, no, I get that. Valid. If I sell out to a cultic military industrial complex, then you can't call yourself a Christian. So be it. Do you think 2030 will reach fully altitude, third world, thick forest, 30 by 30 miles with bears and wolves and no foresters because foresters will be gone and it's protected? No. I think something will start in 2030 and it's probably just going to get worse from there. Um, I don't know. The summer, who knows? Something could happen this summer. Something could happen this summer. 2028 is probably going to be a pretty crazy year. And then 2030 is going to be pretty crazy. So we'll see what happens the rest of the year. I hope nothing happens. I hope it's not crazy, but who knows? It doesn't take much. People are on edge. People aren't happy. People are stressed out. So, I mean, things are getting not great. Time to say HE double hockey sticks without the sticks. Yeah. I've heard you mention solar cycles before. I'm curious if you could talk about that a bit. Yeah, so pretty simple. The sun, everything operates in cycles. The sun has maximums and minimums of its output. The sun is linked to the earth. So because the sun interacts with the earth, they're linked. It dictates almost what happens on the earth, the climate, the weather patterns. Well, the weather patterns being the climate, tectonic activity, if you want to call it that, health events, human psychology, cardiovascular, all these things are linked to the sun in some way. So you can look up Oppenheimer Ranch Project. He does a lot of videos on this. He's good to dive into. You think I'm joking? I think it's a character flaw. They will remove all forests? No, I don't believe that. A character flaw. Well, what if I do something really good with the money? Things might balance themselves out, Bill. Don't be so pessimistic. I can't have it both ways. I'm not trying to have it both ways. I'm just trying to have it my way. You feel me? That was pretty tough, wasn't it? Stan would want to have it my way. So how will they remove people from giant forests or caves when 2030 comes? People aren't going to make it to the forests or their caves. I don't know where you get this idea that people are going to even leave the cities. If there's a grid down event, most of the people in the cities are going to die in 2 weeks. 90% of the people are going to die in 2 weeks. It takes the stores, there's only food in the stores because trucks come every 3 days. When trucks don't come for 3 days, the stores will be empty. Do you understand? 2 weeks after that. So what? 17 days? Not even a whole month. People will freak out and riot. In a month, 90% of the city will be dead. You think people know how to survive in the city? They don't. Nobody has food sitting around. If they do, they're going to have to defend it. They're not always going to defend it. That's what's going to happen. The future of humanity, hard to say. How did medieval people survive? Very hard lives. Very hard lives. I mean, look at it this way. They were perks, but life was a lot more brutal in some ways. So If you think people will exodus from the city, you're crazy. People won't exodus from the city because they won't have anywhere to go, number one. Number two, they don't have the means to survive outside of their cities. They'd be too afraid to leave. Number three, everybody who's in, I don't know if you've actually ever talked to any rural people, but if you go to like any cookout or barbecue or hog slaughter or something, and the beers start flowing, the drinks start flowing. After about 2 or 3 hours, when things wind down and everybody's had some drinks in them, the conversation always devolves into, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do when all the people in the cities inevitably try to leave because something happens? I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to set their sights on their firearms for 400 yards, and that's it. That's it. Those people are not getting anywhere near the rural areas if something goes down. Let me tell you, they're going to see them coming, and they're not going to see it coming. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going to be over for them. They're not going to let the city people come to the rural areas. You think the rural areas in America, people say, oh, yeah, sure, come on in, welcome in, yeah. No, it's going to be on site, 400 yards on site. I don't really quite think you understand what the rural American is really capable of and willing to do when that time comes. That's what's going to happen. Is that, do you understand now? Does that make sense to you? Rock. I'll have to the mic. That's the answer. You can survive by buying animals and not registering and breeding them in secret. Yeah, okay. What'd you do? Just think of that in like 5 seconds? We could just buy a bunch of animals and breed them together. You listen to yourself? You didn't think that through, obviously. You would buy animals to breed and they would all die because you don't know what to look for in healthy livestock. That's what would happen. I'm not saying city folk will survive, but they're not going to just stay in the cities and let themselves starve. Oh, really? You think too highly of people, my friend. Do you remember what happened 6 years ago? Yeah. 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks to stop the spread. And then what happened? Give me a break, dude. You give people too much credit. I don't think you realize. I don't think you realize. You don't realize. And it isn't that people are going to stay in the cities and let themselves starve. It's that they're going to fight with each other because they're starving. That's what's going to happen. They're not going to make it out of the city. They're all going to fight with each other. The ones that do try to make it out of the city are going to be, it's on site for them. They're not going to enter these small rural towns. These people, they're going to cut down trees. They're going to block off the road. They're going to set up roadblocks. They're not going to let anybody in. Okay. And they're going to funnel people down. It's just going to be a shooting gallery, is what it's going to be. The fact that you can't comprehend that is, come on, you think about it. Think about it. Now that I'm telling you this, you have to realize this is inevitably what's going to happen. There's no way it doesn't happen. The country is already so divided. These people aren't going to want city slickers coming into their town and messing it up. A lot of issues with pharmaceuticals being pushed today, and that will be a big event. Yeah, I mean, certainly, a lot of people's health are failing. Sheep don't need much food and easily survive in the cold. Okay. So what's your point? Are you going to go out and buy 12 sheep right now? Where are you going to put them? Is 12 sheep enough? Probably not. How many people are you going to feed? How many people are you going to feed throughout the year? How many sheep are you going to need? How many sheep are you going to need to breed and not die so you can grow your population of sheep and it doesn't shrink? Yeah, your math is not right. You need a lot of land to raise animals. Plus, medieval people had their own gardens to feed themselves. That's true. They would also forage. I will personally be in the woods with all the commenters on Turkey Tom Duck. Of course you will, Bill. Yeah, it's funny. Apparently, Clavicular just made out with a Polish trans model. The memes write themselves. Yeah, I mean, there's places I can go out in the country. I know 1, 2, 3. I know 3 people in my general area I could go out to, and they would be chill with me coming because I'm competent. They trust me, and let's face it, everybody wants a guy who eats raw meat on their team because you're a killer. You know, I mean, you're not necessarily a killer, but can you run it on the basis of what you eat and record those videos outside? Shush whispers. Are you talking about videos for the future? Bring me as a +1 if it gets bad. If you can get to me, Liam. You don't need much space. People had animals in their houses where there were no animal safety rules back then. Yeah, but people also had more land. They didn't live on like a dinky little, you know, eighth of an acre plot. Do you want me to run down the basics of what I eat now? I actually already did that. And I'm not really going to record. Well, no, that's not true. I can record more videos outside. I do have a better phone. I do have a better camera. I do need to get my tripod though. I need to get my tripod. I somebody took my tripod on accident. Long story. But I should be getting it back soon, and I'll be making more content outside. I just haven't had a lot of time to make content outside. It's like, cause I have to go somewhere and do it. I'm already working like 50, 55 hours a week. So I don't have a lot of time. So for me to just make videos with the PowerPoints on the screen is like really easy and convenient. People seem to like that format. Yeah, so but Shush Whispers, I do have a video of what I eat in a day. And it's throughout the year. It's not filmed outside though, sorry. 8 likes, 12 viewers. Wow. I'm so blessed. Thank you. I got some on my nose. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm probably going to get ready to go to bed soon here. It's 1 o'clock. Oh boy. 13 viewers, 8 likes. I almost don't want to stop going because I've got 9 people in here. Okay. 9 likes, 9 viewers. I need to lay down for a minute. Late Friday, indeed. Ugh. Let me. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I undid the mic. Yeah, late Friday. Late Friday indeed. I gotta finish this nut formula and all this milk. Yeah, I am eepy. Man, I don't know. I think I might cut it. I don't know. I gotta get up. I gotta lift my head to read the chat. I don't really want to do that just yet. Give it a few more minutes. Yeah, kind of a dark topic though. You know, what's gonna happen? Something's gonna happen. I'm not sure when, I'm not sure how, but I know something's gonna happen. And you can't dwell on it, it'll just make you crazy. You just gotta be ready to move, you know. This is when it's go time, it's go time. Can't mess around. That's probably the biggest thing is just being mentally prepared, mentally and physically prepared. Not so much material because like if you're mentally and physically prepared, you can honestly leverage other people's material possessions. Um Especially when a lot of people get wiped out if you can afford to stay alive. But the Civil War scenario in Kosovo is actually like the gold standard case study for these sort of things. It's interesting to read about what happens, how people interacted, and what they valued and traded, the skills. You know, you could have lighter fluid, for example, for lighters, and you could have cigarettes, but the lighters will run out of fluid. But if you know how to put the fluid in the lighters, you're valuable. You see? You can sell alcohol, but what happens when you run out of alcohol? You need to make more. So if you know how to make alcohol, that's good. So it's kind of how you have to think. Um, I'm trying to not deal with all that and, you know, sell out to the Mick. So yeah, it is what it is. I know I know. It's not based or whatever, but I don't really care. I don't want to fight. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to. I just want like a simple life. Simple life. All right. I laid down. Now I don't want to get up, but I'm going to. Let's read the chat. 10 likes. You know, if this is really getting bad, I have no problem being Jesus. Will turn in late 2040. Buy 1,000,000 followers, you can private videos. You know that, right? Oof, Liam. Yeah, Bill. Liam retired. You should respect that as a creator, as a fellow creator. You should respect that. Imagine having to deal with an audience. Aerospace engineering, nice. Yeah. Lock in that Northrop Grumman or Raytheon job, dude. For sure. Maybe my company will hire you someday. How's this shit go? It goes this way. Ah, biscuits. This way. There we go. Back up. YouTube AI banned AdSense falsely, so I gave up. Damn. Any advice where to find raw milk? Yeah, you've got to look on Raw Milk Finder is a good one. Go to the farmers markets. Also, when you're emailing people, make sure you don't sound like a Fed, because that will suss people out. Yep, Liam had it figured out, bro. Liam's the GOAT. All right, guys, this has been stellar, but we've been going for 2 hours. It's kind of late. I'm getting hot. I don't know why. I need to eat this nut formula, and I need to go to bed. I really want to add the milk back in. Do it, dude. If it's going to happen in USA, why not just leave on your own instead of selling yourself out? Because I want to have money, and I want to travel, and I want to do things. That's why. Pretty simple answer. But yeah, I want to be part of the upper class. I don't really want to be a pleb if I can help it. So anyway, take it easy, everybody. I'll be streaming tomorrow with Resident Raw, Saturday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to tune in for that. I'm going to be interviewing him on his conference experience, getting some feedback and sharing some fond memories of our time at the conference. Thank you.